I'm going to show you how to make a Wing Chun wooden dummy, which is a Chinese piece of apparatus for training your agility and your speed for martial arts. It's reasonably simple to make. I'm going to make one out of a bit of scrap wood. It's a bit of pole. It's got a few shapes in it, but I'm going to make one out of this. It's been lying around the garden for a while. It's dryish at the moment, so I'm going to use this. So 3x2 timber. Basically, you want this about the height of yourself, and you have two loose but fixed in position arms. I'll show you where they go. Two go at shoulder height, one goes just above your waist, and a leg comes out just above the kneecap, so that you've got that position for training. But I'll explain it to you later. But I'm going to show you how to make it. So, these pieces of timber, they want to be sticking out of here about 12 inches long. So whatever timber you use, you've got to allow for the thickness of this and the bit to come out the back, and they have a wooden peg in. So they haven't got to be a real tight fixing, slightly loose, so there's a bit of movement when you touch, but as I make it, you'll understand how it all goes together. So, I'll put this to one side, don't want it in my way at the moment. Now, starting with this piece, I'm going to cut them about 20 inches long. So, I'm just going to mark this for 20 inches. Once I cut one, I'll cut 3 more. This bit here has got a few shakes in it, got a few splits starting. They're not always good to have, so this bit seems in better condition. So I will cut this. I'm going to use my power saw, but you can cut it by hand. I'm just trying to get this over to you as quick as possible. As I explained, once you've cut one, you can cut the rest just by marking that first one. So you only want 3 of these. So, once you've got these, you only need to take one. I'll put my pencil up again. So the pole, thicknesses of the pole is 4 inches, and you have to house it to shape. And I said I did want about 11 or 12 inches, so I'm going to go 11 and a half. And I know 4 inches of that is going to be in the upright pole. And then the back end, leave it long at the moment, because you'll put a peg in it later, so it holds it in position, and it's got a little bit of movement to it, so that it's got a bit of give when you actually hit it. So, that position there, I'm going to grab my square, just to give me an idea. Square round, so not to confuse myself, on this edge here, I'm just going to tick the edges, just so that I've got more of an idea. I'll explain to you. I'm going to cut a shoulder on this, so just there and there, because basically I'm going to cut this down there as a shoulder, and in this direction. We'll see in a moment. So I want this as thick as possible, but I want it to stop being pulled through the pole. So I'm just going to, you can do this more accurately yourself if you want, but I'm just going to do this. I'll set in my finger and my pencil, because I'm familiar with that distance. just as a guide for myself. So once I cut this section out, both sides, I'll have a shoulder there. I'll explain to you, I'm going to cut it with my power saw, but again, you can use a hand saw, depends what you feel confident with. I'm just going to do this freehand at the moment. I'm just going to skim over the top. I do that with a hand saw. I've just got an old garden saw which I use for trimming out some of the trees and branches that have come loose. Just to give you an idea, I'm just going to cut this shoulder back, both sides. It's not too bad. So basically you've got the idea. You end up with two shoulders, so that actually goes through the dummy itself and becomes pegged at the back, so it has a bit of movement. Now they're a bit big and you can shape these to the size you want. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to, actually I'll use my saw. I'm looking at more of an end section of this type of shape at the end. Now to get that, I'm just going to transform these lines onto the surface. Just to say, I'm just rushing through it, give you a quick idea. Then about a third, if you guess approximately a third about there, what I'm going to do is just take that shape up to there. Just stick that over there. Okay, you can change the shape to what you may prefer yourself. Just going to flick that around there quick, just so I've got an idea that it's all reasonably similar, both sides. So I'm then going to cut this down here. Again, you can do it by hand, but I'm going to cut that shape off with my power saw, providing I've still got some power in it. Burning a bit, so the blade's a bit smart. So basically you end up with this sort of shape. So you get an idea of what's going on now. So that will actually go through. Once I cut this out later, they go through and you shape this. The shoulder stops it being pulled through and you shape this more of a rounder shape, make it a bit smoother, because that's what you're going to be hitting with your hands, your palms. It's a great idea that the Chinese brought out to speed up agility. And it's for close contact sport, so wherever you could be in a situation where you need to move yourself pretty quick. It's excellent training, and I will show you how to use this and how to speed up your reflexes. So you need 3 of these to get to this stage, then I'll show you how they're planed and shaped. Right, I've now cut 3 of these, as I explained. I've done it pretty quick. It's just once you create the shoulder and you've got this tenon that's going to go through the hole. Now these just want rounding off a bit, and I'm going to do them with electric planer. But again, you can do them by hand with a chisel or a spoke shave or a hand planer. I'm just going to do things quick as I normally do. doing, just rounding it all off. That's all I want really, just so that when you're actually using it, whatever way you're touching it, you've got a smoother edge. Just a bit of sandpaper, glass paper, just to sand those down. So I'll do that to all three. So I've made a few of these over the years and I'm just rushing through it just to give you an idea, but you can take a bit more time and put a bit more effort into it to give it a better finish. I'll just give you the basics of how quick it can be done. So back to the pole itself. Again, if it's for personally for yourself, you want it about your head height. The top, the first protruding attachment will be about your shoulder height. So about my shoulder height, I'm just going to do this very roughly, is about there. So I've got a cross there and I'm going to house a hole for this to go through, and when I've done that I'm going to want another one just that distance below. So I'm going to want one over here, I'll show you going shortly, and one above the waist around that position there. So I'm going to want one down there. You can mark this out more accurately, but I'm just rushing through as quick as I can, give you an idea. So we get it together, piece it all together, and I'll show you how it all works. Right, so I've marked literally by laying on one of my arms, that position and that position, and it doesn't matter if it ends up being a bit loose because they need a little bit of movement. Now I've got a high speed flat bit, just a rusty old one, just to give you an idea. Put it in the centre where we're going to drill a hole. Take me drill off the hammer. As you see it coming through the other side, point now. Flip it over and go into that hole. To give you an idea, I'll be a little bit bigger yet. Square these edges off with a chisel. So this hole you want to be slightly bigger, so there's a bit of movement. And there we go. So you need, once it's pegged in, it will want to have a little bit of give to it. So you peg it in so it doesn't come out. So once you've got the one in, you then got more of an idea of where you want the other one. So basically I'm going to probably put this one through. I'm going to want to point it out in that position there. So I've already marked an X on here anyway, so I'm going to do the same there, and then one down here. I'll show you that one in a moment. So I'm going to carry on chopping these out so I can get these in position. I'll cut that one out, another one in there. Right, I've got a bit further with our Wing Chun Dummy. So it's just been made out of some scrap wood, just to give an idea of how easy you can make one. I explained before that the first hole, again, wants to be about your shoulder height. I showed you how to do one of these. That goes in there, and we'll have a peg in there which I'll show you shortly. And the other one about an inch away about 1 inch away on this hole. You're going to go at an angle. I've actually numbered mine, number 1, number 2. And when that goes in a little bit tighter, I can loosen it up. You want these coming out about 40 degrees off of, give you an idea, there's 90, might be more like 55 degrees of an angle off of that one. You put that in straight, and then approximately you want a centre line where you've got one that comes just above your waist in there. So I've got to loosen these up a little bit yet. A little bit tight, but there's one going in there. Now this one down here is about your knee height. This one. And what we're going to do there, you make a dummy leg. Now, again, do yourself an arm, same length as those. Well, actually a couple of inches longer. And all I've done is done a half lap joint, put a few screws in while I've glued it up, and I'll take the screws out. They'll be quite strong. This is Gorilla Glue. It's like an expanding foam glue. Now, that wants to be 45 degrees. 45 degrees for that one. And that one will go in there. And again, just drilled the holes out, chopped them out a bit rough, just so that I can make one as quick as possible. So that's what you've got at the moment. So it's taking shape. So you've got your centre and your arm piece and your leg piece. Now I'll get it trimmed up and I'll get some pegs put in, get it secure, and show you what we do with this. Right. To mark out for the pegs, just to stop these coming out, just going to push them in, mark the backs and put a cross on there so I know what side I'm going to. I've already marked this one and that one. So I'll take one of these out so I know that that's the thickness it's got to go through, just to put a peg over there. Do cut a wedge, just quick with my power tool. It's blunt. Let's have a look. Just cut a shape of wedge out. Now that sort of size. It's only a bit of scrap timber I've had lying around. It's about a fraction under 3/4 inch thick. So you end up with something like that. I want 4 of those. So once the wedge goes through, it's going to make a hole, it's going to go through there into that sort of position. So that's the size, this distance here, approximately, of what you want this hole to be. So I'm just going to lay that on there, just to give myself an idea that I'm going to cut something in the centre. Again, I'm just doing this a bit rough. I haven't got a lot of time at the moment. Busy schedule, so I'm going to drill a hole there and chop it out. Right, so right there, there it goes in there. These wedges go through there, stops it coming back out basically. So if you repeat that process 3 more times, just holds them in place, so you can always take it apart. Right, so I've cut all my wedges. I've actually labelled that number 1 and number 1, only so I know where they go. So to give you an idea, that goes in there, that goes across there. Actually, you don't need the wedges that long. What I'll do, while I'm showing you, I'll snip them all down. You don't need them that long, you don't want to damage yourself, so I'm going to cut about, with my blunt rusty saw, I'm going to cut just over 1/3 off, just so they don't get in the way too much. Very blunt saw. So, show you quick. That must be number 1. Must be number 3. Go in there. I've got a number 3 here somewhere. It was only to help me in. Now, so that wedge goes in there. Just push it in. Stops it getting pulled out anyway. Here's my number 1. Another wedge for number 1. Just to go in there. And number 2. And number 2. And of course, my number 4, which is obviously this one because it doesn't look like those. So they're allowed to have movement. It's the whole idea of it, so that when you strike this with your body, it doesn't feel too much of an impact. So once you've got that far, we're looking at something like this, and we're almost ready to fight. Almost. Because I'll take you through some training to give you an idea of how this actually can assist your speed and your reflexes and your skill and judgment. A little bit more to do, but it's fixed. I'll show you how it can be fixed in a position, temporary or permanent. Just going to get a bit of sandpaper over it just to smooth it off a bit. But again, this is just something I've made. Scrap wood. We will make a better one, a bit more professional with some drawings. But if you follow this video, you should end up with something like this. And it's just about ready to go. I'll get it fixed in position and I'll show you some moves.